Avatar, Part 9. Okay, I have a question. Who was the 9th avatar of Vishnu? There is not just one answer for this, but there are quite a few. Are you ready to listen to the answers? Okay. Answer number 1. Balarama, the elder brother of Krishna, was actually the 8th avatar of Vishnu, and Krishna was the 9th avatar. So this is answer number 1. And I told you the story of Krishna, right? And I did mention Balarama as the elder brother of Krishna. Let me tell you a little bit more about Balaram. Now this Balaram, as I had told you, was born to Rohini and Vasudeva. And he was with Krishna in Gokul. And as he grew, he also killed several demons along with Krishna. He supported Krishna during his full lifetime. He carried a plough called the Hal. So he was called Haldhar. And then he also had a mace. He was an expert at wielding the mace. So he was the guru for the Kaurava prince Duryodhan and the Pandava prince Bhim. During the Mahabharat war, which was fought between the Pandavas and the Kauravas, Balaram decided not to take anyone's side, and he went off on a pilgrimage. So that was about Balaram, and that was the answer number 1. Now let's move on to answer number 2. As per this, when Dwapara Yuga ended and Kali Yuga started, at that time a lot of people, they claimed to be following the Vedas, but they became too ritualistic and very cruel. So this was the time when Adi Buddha was born to Anjana in a place called Bodh Gaya. Now this Adi Buddha asked people not to rely on the Vedas so much, and he condemned all the rituals, especially the animal sacrifices. And he asked people to be kind and to follow non-violence. Alright, so what is the meaning of Adi Buddha? Adi Buddha means the original Buddha or the first Buddha. And what is the meaning of Buddha? In Sanskrit, Buddha means the enlightened one, the one who is awake and enlightened, who is intelligent. Alright, so this was about Adi Buddha, answer number 2. Now let's move on to answer number 3. As per this, the 9th avatar was actually Gautam Buddha. And Gautam Buddha was born as Prince Siddharth to Queen Maya and King Shuddhodhan in a place called Lumbini. Alright, and when he was born, the astrologer prophesied that this child could either be a great ascetic or he could be a great king. Now, King Shuddhodhan, the father of this child, naturally did not want his son to become an ascetic. Do you know what is an ascetic? An ascetic is a sannyasi or a sadhu. So the King Shuddhodhan wanted that his son should grow up to be a great king. And so he ensured that as the prince grew, he was surrounded by everything happy, and there were things which would give him pleasure. There was no misery or pain or sorrow anywhere around him. Alright? The Prince Siddharth grew up to be a young handsome man. He married the beautiful Yashodhara. Soon they had a pretty young son. And then one day Prince Siddharth went on a tour on his chariot. His charioteer was Channa. And on the way, for the first time, Siddharth saw a very old man, and he looked very weak. And then he saw a person who was extremely sick. He had some disease and he looked so miserable. And then he saw a dead body. Now these things Prince Siddharth had never seen in his life. And so he asked his charioteer, who are these people? Why do they look so miserable and sad and weak? And Channa replied that the old man is weak because of old age, and everybody ultimately becomes old. And the person who was sick, Channa said that anybody can become sick and anyone can get a disease at any time. And about the dead body, Channa said that whoever is born on this earth has to die one day. So that is unavoidable. And Siddharth was quite upset. Oh, what is the meaning of this life then? And then he saw an ascetic, a sadhu, a sannyasi who looked blissful and peaceful and happy. And he asked the sannyasi, how is it that you are so happy? And the sannyasi said, well, I have renounced the world, so I have no sorrows, I have no desires, I am happy. So Prince Siddharth went home that day and kept thinking, why? What is the cause of this sorrow? Why do we get the sorrow? Why should we suffer? Then why die? What is the meaning of all this? And then to get the answers for all the questions that were arising in his mind, he renounced all the pleasures of the palace, everything, his family, and walked out of the palace one night. And he went in search of all the answers. He did meditation, he did penance, he met several people, and ultimately he reached Bodh Gaya, and he sat under the Bodhi tree and meditated. And then he got enlightenment and became Gautam Buddha. So Siddhartha now became Gautam Buddha. He understood all why these sufferings and these sorrows, what was the cause and how to get rid of them, how to destroy them and how to be happy in life. He got the answers for all his questions, and then he went about preaching this to all the people. And he, of course, advocated that there should be non-violence and people should be kind and you should live the right kind of life. Okay? So, and then a lot of people followed his teachings, and those who followed his teachings had this mantra, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Alright, so that was answer 3. Now we go to answer 4. Okay, as per this, okay, what happened was, as Dwapara Yuga was ending, you remember the hunter shot an arrow and that hit Krishna to end Krishna Avatar. So when that happened, Arjun, the Pandava prince, he came and saw Krishna's body there and he decided to cremate it. And as he tried to burn the body, everything got burnt except the heart of Krishna. And Arjun heard a divine sound which asked him to tie this heart to a log of wood and throw it in the ocean. Arjun did just that. And this heart, which was tied to the log of wood, kept floating in the ocean, and from Dwarka, which is in the west, it kept floating for several years and aeons, and then by the time Kali Yuga started, this log of wood reached the east part of India near Puri in Orissa. Okay. Now the hunter who had actually shot the arrow was now reborn as a tribal chief. Okay. Now, and this heart had grown bigger and turned into a blue colored stone and got washed off on the shore in Puri. So this in a forest. So this tribal chief, he saw this blue colored stone which was shining and realized that this was Vishnu, and he started worshipping this blue stone and called it Neel Madhav. Alright. Now he kept this Neel Madhav in a cave and he worshipped it. The king of that place, who was Indradyumna, he heard about Neel Madhav and he wanted to find out where exactly was this Neel Madhav, and he wanted to worship. So he sent a young priest called Vidyapati to locate Neel Madhav. Now Vidyapati found out that Neel Madhav was with the tribal chief. So he came to the tribal chief, and then somehow he married the daughter of the tribal chief, and then he persuaded the tribal chief to take him to the place where Neel Madhav had been kept. But the tribal chief said, I am going to blindfold you and take you. So he blindfolded him, but all the way as he was going, this Vidyapati, he dropped some mustard seeds. And then he had the darshan of Neel Madhav. He came back and waited for the mustard seeds to sprout. So as they sprouted, then he found out the way to reach the cave where Neel Madhav was kept. And so he found the location, and then he reported to the king. So King Indradyumna, he came, and when he came to the cave to see Neel Madhav vanished. And then King Indradyumna, he prayed to Lord Vishnu and said, Oh Vishnu, I only want to pray to you. I want to worship you. Please show yourself. And then Vishnu came in his dream and said to him that go to the seashore. There you will see a big log of wood which has all the 4 important things that Vishnu carries. What are the 4 important things that Vishnu carries? The shank, that is a conch shell, the chakra, the Sudarshan chakra, the discus, and then gada, the mace, and padma, that is the lotus. So these 4 things you will find with the log, and then you build a huge temple for me and make the deities out of this log. So this is what Vishnu told Indradyumna. So the king Indradyumna went looking for the log of wood, and he found it on the seashore, and he asked his soldiers and his army people to lift the log of wood so that it can be taken to the place where the temple had to be built. But nobody could even move this log of wood. It was so heavy. Then Indradyumna again prayed to Vishnu and said, Oh Vishnu, why have you made this so heavy? How are we going to move this? How will we make the deities out of it? And then Vishnu appeared again in his dream and instructed him that you should involve all the tribal people. They were the ones who were worshipping me. So ask the tribal people to lift. They will be able to do it. So the king said, Oh, okay, yes, oh Vishnu, I understand. Thank you. And then he asked the tribal chief and his people to come and carry the log, and they could easily carry it. And then the king got a huge temple built for Neel Madhav, and now the deities had to be made out of this log of wood. And suddenly a man appeared from nowhere, and he said, I can make deities from this log of wood, but my condition is that I'm going to do it inside the temple. I'm going to close the door. Nobody should enter till I finish making these deities. Everybody agreed. 21 days passed and the door of the temple did not open. The king and the queen were worried. They said, is this man even eating anything? Let's go and check it out. And so they opened the door of the temple. So what happened? When they opened the door of the temple, this man vanished, and he had actually made the deities out of the log of wood, but the work was incomplete. He had not finished making those deities. That's why he had not opened the door. And the log of wood had the deities without arms, without legs, no proper body, only huge faces with eyes. But, well, then they said, what are we going to do now? Then, of course, again the king Indradyumna prayed to Vishnu, and Brahma, Lord Brahma came and he opened the eyes of the deity. So what had the man made? What deities had he made? He had made Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. That was black in color. And then he had made Balabhadra, that was Balaram. He had made Subhadra, who was a sister of Krishna and Balaram. So Balabhadra was slightly yellow in color, and Balabhadra was white in color, Subhadra was yellow in color, and Jagannath was black in color. Okay, black like this. So can you see here? This is Jagannath. Okay, this is Subhadra, and this is Balabhadra. And of course, there you see Buddha. Okay. Alright, so the 9th avatar according to this was Lord Jagannath. And in Orissa, Lord Jagannath is very popular and worshipped, and every year Rath Yatra is taken out for Jagannath. Okay? Okay, so these were the 4 answers for the question, who was the 9th avatar of Vishnu? Alright, so the end. Okay, what have we learned today? Now the main thing here to learn is from the teachings of the Buddha that practice non-violence, be kind to everybody, don't be too ritualistic, okay, don't do animal sacrifices, and be good. Alright, now it's time for you to like my video, share with everyone, and subscribe to it. Alright, I shall be back very soon with Dasha Avatar part 10. That would be the last part of Dasha Avatar. Alright, till then, this is Madhavi Aunty saying bye.